The signal no one believed in the cold darkness of space. Something strange happened. A signal weak, broken, and almost lost in the noise of stars echoed across the galaxy. It came from a dead zone, a forgotten place between star systems. Number 2 colony was there, no ship, no civilization, just silence. Until now, the signal carried only a few short words, filled with static and fear. They are coming. On Station Zephyr 9, orbiting the edge of human space. Dr. Lena Ortiz leaned closer to the screen. Her fingers trembled as she cleaned the audio. Her young assistant Malik watched her with wide eyes. Play it again, she whispered. Malik pressed the button. The signal repeated same words, same fear. They are coming. Lena stood up. This isn't random, she said. It's a distress call. But who would send it from out there? Malik asked. There's nothing in that region, just rocks and radiation. Lena didn't answer. Her heart pounded. She had studied ancient alien languages, deep space patterns, even extinct signals. This one was different. It felt real. She sent the data to the Galactic Council. 2 days later, Galactic Council Hall sent a world ambassadors from over 50 species sat in the shining Council Hall. Some had feathers, some had scales, others glowed softly in different colors. At the end of the hall stood Earth's representative Ambassador Jerome Lane, a calm and serious man. A hologram of Lena's signal floated in the air. The words repeated again, they are coming. A blue-scaled ambassador from the Tracy Empire laughed. A broken signal from dead space. You brought us here for this. A jelly-like creature from the Luel Confederation added. Another human imagination, it seems. Jerome remained calm. Our scientists believe this is a distress call. The signal is not natural. Someone sent it recently. We request a joint investigation. An insectoid diplomat clacked its mandibles. There is no threat. We will not waste time chasing ghosts. A vote was called. Decision. No action, no support. Signal ignored. Jerome returned to his ship with a cold expression. Earth had been rejected. Again. Back on Earth. United humanity. Assembly in a private chamber. Jerome met with General Saito, head of Earth Defense. They laughed at us again, Jerome said. Saito nodded. Expected. What about your scientist? Ortiz. She's still sure it's real. Then we're sending someone. Saito turned to the screen. Launch stealth ship Artemis 4, quiet mission, no flags, no names. Artemis 4, 17 days. Into deep space. The Artemis 4 was a small exploration craft, black as space itself. It moved without light, silent and hidden. Its crew, 7 humans. One mission reached the source of the signal. Captain Elias Reeves sat in his chair, eyes locked on the screen. He had led missions on frozen moons and burning planets, but this felt different. Wrong. Dr. Lena Ortiz sat beside him, staring at the coordinates there, she said, pointing. That's the origin point. Planet 09. It's not on any current charts. The crew began preparing to land. Surface of 09. The ship landed in a ruined city, if you could still call it a city. Towers stood broken. Roads had turned to dust. Strange, twisted metal lay half buried in black sand. The sky was red. The air tasted like ash. Place looks ancient, said Officer Karen Lee, scanning the area. No power, no heat, no signs of life. Then Malik, the young assistant who had begged to join the mission, shouted, I'm picking up something underground. The team found an entrance, an old stairwell leading down. Below the ashes they descended into darkness. The lights on their suits flickered. The deeper they went, the colder it became. At the bottom they entered a chamber with strange carvings. On the walls aliens not human stood in lines, weapons raised. They looked afraid. Look at their eyes, Lena whispered. They're not warriors. They were praying. In the center of the chamber, something moved. Hold! Reeves shouted. A figure, thin, broken, but alive, crawled from the shadows. It wasn't human, but it wasn't dangerous either. Its skin was cracked stone. Its eyes burned blue. Lena knelt beside it. Can you understand me? The creature nodded weakly. It placed a trembling hand on Lena's forehead. In her mind she saw fire, darkness, planets breaking, massive creatures like floating cities alive, hungry. The alien whispered in a broken voice. They are coming, hollow ones, eat stars. No light survives. Then it died. The truth. The team returned to Artemis 4, shaken and silent. What we saw down there, Malik said. That wasn't just a warning, that was a history. They were attacked. Lena nodded. The hollow ones aren't a myth. They're real, and they're moving. Captain Reeves sent a secure message back. To Earth, full details. Full visuals. Galactic Council. 2-3 weeks later. Once again, Earth requested emergency attention. This time, Jerome didn't bring a message. He brought proof. The alien body, the images, the voice. The council didn't laugh this time. They whispered, argued. Then they voted. Decision: no action. Council will wait. The Artemis IV shook as it escaped the planet's orbit. The engines burned hard, pushing the small human ship to its limits. Inside, the crew sat in silence. No one spoke. No one blinked. The thing they saw, it wasn't a ship. It wasn't metal or machine. It was alive. Massive, cold, wrong, floating in the darkness just above the dead planet. It had no lights, no signals, no engines. It had eyes. Captain Elias Reeves stared at the screen. What are they? Dr. Lena Ortiz shook her head. They were waiting, watching us. Karen Lee, the tactical officer, checked the ship's rear cameras. They didn't chase us. They just let us go. Why? Malik asked. No one answered. No one answered. Hours later, in deep space, Team IV moved far from the planet 09. The ship finally slowed and hid behind a quiet moon. They needed time to think, time to understand. Lena sat at the table, her notes spread out in front of her. She replayed the alien's final words in her mind. Hollow ones, eat stars, she whispered. It wasn't a warning, it was a final message, a memory. Malik sat across from her. If they destroyed 09, why stop now? Why haven't they attacked more systems? They don't attack like we do, Lena replied. They wait, they drift, they consume only when the prey gets too close. Captain Reeves entered the room. I've sent everything to Earth, he said, including the images, the scans, and that thing. Lena looked up. What did command say? He paused. Nothing. They just replied with coordinates. What coordinates? Malik asked. Nolek asked. Reeves dropped a data chip on the table. Another world. Same sector. Same silence. No name. Just ruins. Lena picked it up. We're not going home yet, are we? No, the captain said. We're going deeper. Arrival. Planet Eltros 5 Eltros -5 was colder than Xeros-9. The sun was small. The land was covered in frost and blue ice. Ruins lay across the surface. Old towers, temples, and strange spires that hummed with dead energy. As Artemis IV landed, the ground sensors picked up no movement. No heat, no power. Malik whispered. It's too quiet, not even wind. The team geared up. Once again, they stepped into the unknown. Inside the Temple of Echoes, the largest structure on the planet was half buried in ice. Its door had long since frozen shut, but a plasma cutter opened the way. Inside, they found a great hall empty, dark and filled with carvings. Glowing symbols lit the walls as they passed, reacting to their presence. Lena scanned the carvings. Same species, she said. This was a warning chamber. They recorded something. She touched a glowing stone. The walls shimmered. A hologram appeared. Not words, not pictures, memories. The team saw a great city, filled with life. Tall alien creatures, walking in sunlight, trading goods, raising children. The sky cracked open. Dark shapes fell from orbit like smoke. Creatures made of shadow and claws. Whole buildings collapsed. The sun turned black. A voice, deep and broken, echoed in their minds. We begged. We screamed. No one came. The vision ended. The vault below, the far end of the hall, a hidden passage led them underground. The scanners read something strange. Energy readings. Weak but real. As they moved deeper, they heard it soft whispering, echoing through the stone, but there was no one there. Lena stopped walking. It's not sound, she said. It's in our minds. Captain Reeves gave the signal to keep moving. They entered a vault-wide, round chamber filled with black crystal coffins. Hundreds of them. Inside each, an alien body rested, silent, and preserved. Karen Lee scanned them. These were the last survivors. They tried to sleep through it. They failed, Malik said quietly. Look at their eyes. The eyes of the creatures were open, staring, frozen in fear. Then one of the crystals cracked. The survivor. The crack grew. One of the coffins shattered. A creature fell out alive, breathing, but barely. Reeves rushed forward. Get the med kit. Lena dropped to her knees. Don't move. We're here to help. The creature was different, older, with glowing blue veins running along its skin. It looked at them with tired eyes. Then it spoke slowly with effort. Humans, you heard the cry. Lena leaned closer. Yes, we came to find out what happened. The alien coughed. Too late. They sleep, but not forever. Reeves asked, what are they? The alien's eyes turned to stone as it spoke. They are the hollow, born in dark space, feed on light, sound, life. They do not speak. They do not stop. They wait. and when enough ignore the warning, they rise. Then its body turned still. Dead. Back on Artemis for the team returned to the ship. Nobody spoke. They now knew the truth. The Hollow Ones weren't monsters or machines. They were something older, something beyond life. And they were not gone. Were waiting. Waiting for enough silence. Waiting for the last warnings to be forgotten. Waiting for the stars to stop screaming. The room on Artemis 4 was silent, except for the sound of the last Earth signal repeating. This is Lunar Station. We have contact. It's not static. Captain Elias Reeves clenched his jaw. Play it again. Malik did. And again, the message cut off just before the voice could describe what it saw. Whatever had reached Earth's moon, it wasn't natural. And it wasn't friendly. Dr. Lena Ortiz sat frozen. Her hands trembled. They didn't wait, she whispered. The Hollow Ones. They followed the signal. Karen Lee, standing near the tactical console, said in a low voice, "Sir, what if it wasn't our signal they followed? What if they were already coming, and Lunar Station was just the first stop?" Captain Reeves gave a simple order, "Take us home, now." Seen Earth High Command Pacific Bunker A, massive underground command center, beneath the ocean's floor known only to a fewers, alive with noise. Screens flickered. Officers shouted updates. General Saito stood in the center, arms crossed, eyes fixed on a hologram. It showed Earth, its moon, and dozens of small red dots unidentified signals approaching Sol System. "Any contact from Lunar Station?" he asked. "Still nothing, sir," replied a young lieutenant. "The base is dark." Saito turned to Ambassador Jerome Lane, who stood watching the same data. "You said the council refused to act," Saito said. "They didn't believe us," Jerome replied. "They called it myth." "Then we stop asking for help," Saito growled. "We do what humans always do when no one else will stand." Jerome nodded. "We stand alone." Saito pressed a code into the console. Authorization, Project Hades Ionitia. Ionited the world would never be the same. Seen secret human facilities. Project Hades awakens deep, beneath Earth's surface. Machines came to life. In the Nevada wastes, a massive underground hangar opened inside. Lay a shipknoll, a monster darker than the void, built from the wreckage of old wars, powered by experimental tech never tested. Its name, Hades. 50 times the size of a standard cruiser. Armor layered with neutronium. Core built around an unstable quantum engines, something that could bend time in short bursts. It wasn't designed to survive long. It was built for one purpose: to destroy anything that couldn't be stopped. Seen Art. Returned Artemis 4 arrived in Earth orbit. The crew was immediately taken to I Command, debriefed, scanned, questioned. Captain Reeves stood before the Council of Earth's leaders, his voice steady. "We found 2 dead worlds. No signs of war, no laser damage, no chemical weapons, just silence." Lena stepped forward, holding a holocrystal. "This is from Eltris 5, she said. "The last message from a dying race. They said the Hollow Ones don't attack, they consume." She played the memory flashes of floating creatures, eyes like dying suns, cities falling into ash. Then the recording ended with a warning: "Feed on life, and they are not few." The room fell silent. A decision had to be made. Seen the assembly of Earth's command leaders from Earth's colonies and cities met in secret. Some wanted to wait, some wanted to ask for help again, but most, hearing the truth, chose the hard path. General Saito stood tall in front of the group. "No one is coming," he said. "No fleets, no allies, no gods, only us." He paused. "Then let's give them something to fear." Earth voted. Unanimous. Scene. Preparing for war. Satellites across the solar system were moved into high alert mode. Old warships were pulled from dry dock and rebuilt. Civilian factories began building war drones. Instead of farming bots, every human AI was linked into a single defense net. Project Aegis. The Hollow Ones were almost at the edge of the solar system. Earth had 6 days. Seen. The Council watchers from afar entered. The Galactic Council watched human movements with confusion. "They are preparing to fight?" asked the Tracy diplomat. "Fools," another said. "You can't fight shadows." But one old creature, being of pure light from the ancient Horrowan system, said, "Nothing. It just watched the feed from Earth and whispered, maybe they aren't trying to win. Maybe they're trying to stop them, even if it means dying." Seen. The final message from Earth. Earth sent one final signal across the galaxy: "No demands. No panic. Only this. To any species that can hear this. We did not start this. We did not want this, but we will not run. We are humanity, and we will not let the stars go silent." The message was played in every known language. It echoed across systems. bouncing from colony to colony. Many ignored it, but some listened, and trembled. Scene: Hades resides. The Hades battleship broke free from its dry dock. It climbed through Earth's atmosphere like a rising god. Its hull reflected no light. Its weapons were hidden, but deadly. Inside, no cheering crew, only silence. Automated systems. One human captain, Admiral June Kovacs, and a ship built to destroy what nothing else could. She whispered into her comms. Hades is online, awaiting final engagement coordinates. Final scene: first contact, at the edge of the solar system, near Neptune. The shadows came. They didn't use engines, they didn't make sound. 5 hollow ones entered the system, each the size of a moon. They drifted forward. Slow, steady, hungry, but something was waiting for them. The Hades, it lit up in silence and fired. The Hades floated above Neptune like a silent giant. No flashing lights, no victory horns, just power, waiting in the cold. Admiral June Kovacs stood at the command platform. Her voice was calm, but inside, she felt the pressure. She had studied the hollow ones, seen the broken recordings, read every word of Dr. Ortiz's reports, but nothing prepared her for this. On the wide central screen, the first hollow shape entered full view. It didn't fly, it drifted, as if the laws of physics bent around it. Dark, silent, huge. Its surface looked alive, moving, pulsing, like a mix of shadow and bone. "It's not metal," whispered one of the crew. "It's something else. Scan it." Kovacs ordered. The results came in. No clear structure, no heat, no tech, but immense energy, as if it fed on gravity. Then came the second one, and the third, 5 in total. Each as large as a small moon. Each heading straight for Earth. Scene: Earth High Command. General Saito stared at the screen deep inside. Pacific Bunker 1. They've entered Neptune range, his aide reported. Hades is in position. Dr. Lena Ortiz stood beside him, quiet but focused. "They're not scanning, not communicating," she said. "They don't even see us, they only sense us." Saito looked at the display again. "And let's make them feel something." He pressed a button on the table. "Admiral Kovacs, you're cleared to fire." Seen the first strike. The Hades lit up like a dark star. No lasers, no missiles, no missiles. It fired a quantum destabilizer Lansen, invisible. Wave of folded space. The first hollow creature didn't move for 2 seconds. Nothing happened. Then a deep ripple spread across its body, like it was absorbing the hit. The ripple grew and then it cracked. A massive chunk of its surface tore off. A scream echoed not through space, but inside the minds of the crew. "Everyone brace!" Kovacs shouted. The creature twisted, its form writhing, but not dead. Instead, it opened. A gaping mouth formed on what had been its front, filled with lightless teeth, and it moved fast. Seeing the counterattack, the hollow one came straight for Hades. Kovacs gave the order. "Fire all defense systems." Now, dozens of energy blasts struck the creature. Earth's weapons were powerful. Plasma rounds, dark matter spears, neutron cannons, everything hit at once, and it screamed again, not in pain, but anger. The Hades rocked as black tendrils lashed out and struck its side. The armor held, but damage reports flooded in. "They're not dying," one officer said. "They're adapting." Scene: the galaxy watches across the stars. The Galactic Council watched the battlefeed. No sound reached them, but the video said enough. Our shipper single one fighting 5 hollow beasts alone. The Tracy ambassador leaned back. "They should run. That ship is doomed." But the Haruan elder watched in silence, glowing softly. "The humans," she whispered, "are not trying to live. They're trying to change the story." Scene: Sacrifice Protocol. Admiral Kovacs looked at the tactical screen. The other hollow ones were closing in. She had minutes left. "Hades can't take another hit like that," her engineer said. "Hulls down to 41%. Kovacs stared at the glowing core, the unstable quantum drive. She opened a secure code. "Project HADES final protocol unlocked. Prepare for jump detonation." The crew froze. "You mean suicide jump?" someone whispered. Kovacs nodded. "We warp into the middle of them, then we blow the core." She turned to her crew. "You don't have to stay." No one moved. "We're with you, Admiral." Scene: the warp Hades engines screamed to life. The hollow ones felt it. They twisted, changed direction, but it was too late. The ship warped. One moment Hades was gone. The next it was inside the group of creatures. Scene: detonation. The last message from Hades reached Earth. Target reached core, unstable, detonating. In 3, 2, 1, and then light. Not normal light, a fold of space. A burning wound in reality, the entire area exploded in a sphere of bending gravity, white-blue energy, and silence. When the light faded, Earth's sensors picked up the result. 3 of the 5 hollow ones were gone. 1 drifted, wounded, 1 escaped, into the black scene. Earth reactor, command center, cheered and cried at the same time. 3 hollow ones destroyed. A sacrifice that worked. But General Saito didn't smile. They sent 5, he said. That was just a test. Lena nodded slowly. The real swarm is still out there. Malik entered the room with a report. You need to see this. He put it on the main screen that it showed dozens of hollow ones waking, across distant star systems. They were moving all of them toward Earth. Final scene, humanity decides to. Lena Ortiz stood before the United Humanity Assembly. Behind her, images of destroyed planets, dead cities, the Hades ship's last stand. She looked at every leader in the room. They are not gods. They can bleed, but we must stand together. General Saito stood beside her. We're not asking the galaxy for help anymore, he said. We're building a wall, and behind that wall, we fight. The Galactic Council Hall, bright, tall, and peaceful, was silent. Delegates from more than 50 species sat in silence. The hologram of Earth's last transmission floated in the air. We didn't run, we destroyed 3 and will destroy more. This is not just our war. But if it must be, we'll win it alone. A deep stillness followed. Then came laughter. The Tracy ambassador, tall and scaled, leaned back in his seat. They destroyed 3 at the cost of a massive battleship, and all its crew. If this is victory to humans, they are more primitive than we thought. The Luel Confederation diplomat, a floating creature of liquid crystal, pulsed green in agreement. They don't understand what they've awakened. If the hollow ones truly rise, no force will stop them, not even ours. But not everyone laughed. Heroine Elder, glowing faintly in her chair, simply said, they cracked the darkness. That's more than we've ever done. The room grew quiet again. Ambassador Jerome Lane, humanity's representative, stood. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't angry. He simply placed a small black data cube on the table. Then he said one sentence. Play the footage. Scene, Earth's footage shocks the galaxy. The hologram shifted. It showed everything clear and without editing. The Hades firing its first shot. The hollow ones twisting in space. The suicide jump. The explosion. The moment 3 hollow ones died. Delegates leaned forward, silent. Many of them had faced the hollow ones in ancient times, but none had ever destroyed one. Now 3 were gone, and the last 2, retreating. A cold voice broke the silence. It came from a creature of pure metal, representing the archive species. This changes everything. Scene. The debate begins. The council room exploded into argument. Some wanted to support Earth now. Others still refused. They'll bring the war to us. One delegate shouted. They've become a beacon. The hollow ones will follow them, manned, then us. But they've shown the path. Another responded. Isn't that what we waited for? All these years, someone to fight back. Jerome Lane didn't say anything more. He didn't need to. Earth had proven its point. Scene. Earth responds without words. Back on Earth, General Saito and Dr. Lena Ortiz received the council's reply, a message filled with polite words and neutral offers of support and observation. Saito chuckled bitterly. They still think we're desperate. Lena looked at the sky from the command deck. They think we asked for approval, she said. But Earth doesn't wait anymore. Scene, humanity's next step. Earth's new program was simple. The Dauntless Protocol. It had one mission. Build 5 more ships like Hades. Better, faster, meaner. Belt them now. Every colony sent workers. Old war factories reopened. Mars gave its entire orbital station to become a shipyard. Luna turned its ice mines into engine cores. Even Earth's old enemies, rogue colonies from Europa and Titan, joined silently. The hollow ones were coming, and this time, humanity would meet them with a fleet. Seen new warnings arrive while Earth built its weapons. Strange signals began appearing across the stars. Not human, not hollow. These were ancient, buried archives, broken satellites, silent black boxes drifting through space. Finally waking. One message appeared in 5 different places. Same symbol, same phrase. Dr. Ortiz decrypted it. The message was terrifying. If you kill them, they learn. If you run, they follow. If you hide, they wait. Lena whispered the final line aloud. The hollow ones were not born, they were built. Scene, council in panic. The new messages shook the council. If the hollow ones were created, then who created them? And where were those creators now? Theories exploded. A failed AI project, A dead god species, a weapon that broke its leash. The Tracy ambassador panicked. We must close our borders. Let Earth deal with it alone. Others disagreed, but still, no one moved to help Earth. No ships, no troops, no fleets. They watched. Seen. Earth sends a new kind of message 3 weeks later. A new transmission reached the Council from Earth. Not a request, not a call for unity, just a simple image. 5 ships, larger than Hades, fully armed, engines glowing, heading into deep space, and under it, a single message. You didn't come when we needed you. Don't come when we win. Seen Lena's final discovery deep inside Earth's AI labs. Lena sat with something strange. One of the damaged data cores recovered from LTROS-5. It had finally decoded, and what it revealed chilled her to her bones. The Hollow Ones were not just destroyers, they were harvesters. They left certain systems untouched for centuries only to return when population and power had reached a certain level, and Earth's growing strength. It was exactly what they wanted. A perfect glowing meal. Final scene. A warning to Latha. Last message of the part shows Lena standing before Earth's High Command. They're not just coming because we attack them, she said. They were always coming. We just made them hurry. Saito replied, voice hard. Then we'll make them regret it. Outside Earth's orbit, 5 new ships flew past the moon, their names burned into their sides. Oathbreaker, Nemesis, Ashfall, Gravedigger, and behind them, Earth's stars burned brighter. At exactly 0300 standard galactic time, something strange happened. Across over 60 star systems, from the glittering core of the Council worlds to the dust-covered moons of the Outer Rim, every communication network received the same signal. Not from the Hollow Ones. Not from pirates. From Earth. And it wasn't a warning. It was a challenge. A single line of human voice, spoken clearly in the Council's official language. We know you're listening, so listen carefully. We're not running. We're not hiding. We're coming to find you. Then the signal changed. Maps, coordinates, images, locations of ancient systems long lost. Dead ruins Earth had explored but never reported. Places where the Hollow Ones had slept. Earth was broadcasting their secrets to everyone, even to the Hollow Ones. Seen Galactic Council in shock. The message caused chaos. Ambassadors yelled across the Council floor. They're insane. They're provoking the Hollow Ones directly. They'll lead them to all of us. But others sat still, watching. Especially the Harrowan Elder. She's not provoking them, the Elder said softly. She's hunting them. Seen. Earth's plan revealed. General Saito stood before a room filled with commanders, strategists, and AI advisors. Dr. Lena Ortiz was there too, pointing at a map. These are hollow resting sites, she explained. Not nests, not bases, just ... where they wait. She turned to the crowd. Until now, no species ever dared step close to them. But we will, because if we wait for them to come, we lose. So Earth is going to knock first. Saito stepped forward. 5 fleets, 5 systems, 1 order, wake them up, then wipe them out. Seen, Project Myra. While the warships prepared, something else was quietly being deployed. Project Mirror, a signal device ultra-powerful, built to mimic the exact emotional pattern of the Hollow One's prey species. Fear, panic, pain, broadcasted into the void. It wasn't just bait, it was a trap. Once activated, Hollow Ones would sense it across thousands of light years, and they would come, right where humanity was waiting. Seen. The first strike begins. Ship, Ashfall target system, Kerno's drifter fleet arrived above a frozen planet. A hollow nest site. Sensors scanned deep under the ice. Massive movement. 3 Hollow Ones began to rise from beneath the crust. Captain Rayner of Ashfall gave the command. Drop mirror beacon. Full charge. Begin targeting now. The beacon activated. Space screamed, not with sound but with pressure. The Hollow Ones twisted toward the signal, drawn like animals. Sensing blood, Ashfall fired first. Torpedoes laced with dark matter explosives ripped into the rising shapes. They shrieked, but this time they didn't just float, they fought. The sky turned black. The battle began. Seen. The Council reacts. Again back on Center World, the Council watched in disbelief. Earth wasn't defending anymore. They were invading. A Luel delegate trembled. They will doom us all, you see. This is madness. But others, including once neutral worlds, leaned forward, with new expressions on their faces. Not fear. Hope. They're not waiting for help, said a Council AI they're leading. Seen. Gravedigger's mission ship. Gravedigger location. Dead system VR-12. Gravedigger's mission was different. They didn't go to fight. They went to drop a message. Captain Juno stood inside the central chamber of a hollow ruin. The walls were covered in black, organic material, half metal, half bone. She placed a crystal on the floor. It began glowing. "What is it?" her first officer asked. Juno answered without blinking. "Our voice, our challenge, our terms." The crystal began broadcasting, not in human language, but in hollow frequency. What did it say? "We understand what you are. We know you feed. We know you consume. So try us. This time, we bite back." Then she planted charges and left. Gravedigger jumped just as the entire ruin exploded. Seen the hollow ones react somewhere in the dark between galaxies. The remaining hollow swarm stirred. They didn't use words, they didn't need sound, but they felt it. Pain, loss, a new pattern, resistance, and something else. The humans had spoken their language that had never happened before, seen Lena's fear back on Earth. Dr. Ortiz stood at the observatory dome watching the stars. Malik joined, her holding a new data report. "More hollow movement," he said. "Some are coming faster now." Lena sighed. "They've heard us, loud and clear." Malik hesitated. "Do you think we did the right thing?" Lena looked him in the eyes. "If we're going to burn," she said, "then we might as well light the match ourselves." Final scene, humanity's real message back in the council chamber. Jerome Lane stepped forward one last time. He looked around at the alien faces, some afraid, some angry, some silent. He said, "You think we're dangerous now? Wait until you see what happens when we stop asking for permission." He walked out without waiting for a reply. As the door closed behind him, the galaxy finally understood. Earth wasn't just surviving. Earth had decided to fight back and make sure no one ever ignored a cry for help again. The warship Nemesis drifted at the edge of a starless system sector 0-9. No light, no signals, no gravity waves, just a thick wall of silence. Admiral Cora Hahn stood on the bridge, staring into a darkness that sensors couldn't pierce. "Nothing comes out of this system," her science officer whispered. "No ships, no signals, not even photons." Behind them, a long-forgotten message recovered from an ancient probe played again. "Do not enter 9. This is not a warning. This is a TOMB." But the Nemesis was already inside, and soon, they would learn it wasn't just hollow ones that waited in the dark scene. The void system sector 09, the stars disappeared as the ship entered 0-9. The crew grew uneasy. The engines slowed by themselves. Artificial gravity flickered. Something was pulling at them, not physically, but mentally. Admiral Hahn gave the order. "Keep shields up. Silence all outgoing signals. Activate manual systems only." Deep scanners began detecting strange shapes, not hollow ones, but something older, vast, stone-like objects, floating in perfect cubes, with carvings glowing faintly. Dr. Caleb, the xenolinguist, stared at one. "That's not a language," he said. "That's a design meant to keep something in." Seen an ancient Volta ship's shuttle touch down on one of the floating cubes. Inside, a vault of impossible size, weighted columns wider than cities. Walls made of unknown black alloy. And in the center a circle of giant obelisks, each one etched with the image of a hollow creature. Impaled, broken, silent. Dr. Caleb whispered, "This place isn't a ruin, it's a prison." They moved forward, then the readings changed. Life signs. 1. Buried beneath the vault. Alive, watching, not hollow, not human. Something else seen. The sleeper speaks. They found it in the heart of the Volta cocoon-like structure, large as the Nemesis itself. As they approached, the walls of the cocoon pulsed, and a voice deep and ancient entered their minds, not through sound, not through language, through thought. "You come too soon." Admiral Hahn stood firm. "What are you?" "I was the first who broke them." Caleb stepped forward. "You fought the hollow ones. I made them. Long ago, I tried to end them. Failed." The voice darkened. "They were not born. They were not evil. They were a tool that outgrew the hand that shaped them." Seen, humanity learns the truth. The crew learned the horrible truth. The hollow ones were made by an ancient species in a war so long forgotten. Even stars from that era had died. They were meant to clean broken worlds, to reset ecosystems, but something changed. They stopped waiting for orders, and they began consuming everything. Galaxies, civilizations, their own creators. "I bound myself here," the voice said, "to keep them asleep." "Now you've stirred them," Caleb asked. "Can we destroy them?" "You can, but at a price." Seen, the deal. The sleeper offered Earth a gift. Inside its vault lay a seed, not a weapon, but a key. It could weaken the hollow ones permanently, but it required something from humanity, a sacrifice. One ship, one mind, bound forever to the void. 2. Use the key. Someone had to become its guardian. Caleb turned to Admiral Han. She simply said, "I'll do it." But another voice came through. "Let me," said Malik, stepping from the shadows of the chamber. "Earth needs her. I'm already half in the dark." Lena had sent him. She knew the price was coming. Seeing the hollow stir again as the key was activated. Systems across the galaxy flared with new hollow movement. They felt the volt shift. They felt the lock breaking, and they rushed toward Null-9, dozens of them. Admiral Han ordered the Nemesis to return to real space, but Malik remained. He sat inside the cocoon, hand pressed to the seed. "Tell Lena I made it count," he said. Then the door sealed. Light burst across the vault. And the hollow ones screamed. Scene. Humanity reacts back on Earth. Dr. Lena Ortiz felt it. A pressure, lifting. The seed had worked. Now every hollow one across the galaxy had a weakness, a flaw, a new blind spot, and humanity knew how to strike it. Final scene. The first broken one on the world of Craters Fall. The ship Ironheart faced off against a hollow beast. With the new data from the vault, it launched a custom-designed lance. One hit. The hollow cracked. No long battle, no suicide runs. It died real. Death. The crew cheered. And Lena whispered to herself, "We're not fighting monsters anymore. We're hunting them." It began with silence, then the stars lit up with war. From every corner of known space, hollow ones moved, not in small numbers, not in waves, but in a storm. Over 1,000. Hollow beasts, each bigger than a city, each hungrier than the last. And, at the heart of it, a new form, something never seen before, the Hollow King. It moved like a black hole, feeding on light and space. Humanity had one choice left: stand, or vanish forever, and they weren't standing alone anymore. Scene. The Alliance. Forms. The Heroine were first. The ancient light beings sent a message to Earth. "We watched too long, now we rise." Then came the Traci, ashamed but determined. Then the Malan Swarm, the Crystal Mines, the Stormwalkers of Weth species who had once fled. Now they returned. Earth shared everything: weaknesses, data, coordinates. General Saito stood before the United Command Fleet and said, "We didn't ask you to fight for us, but we'll fight with you. This is our line. We hold it, or no one will." Scene. The battle begins. Edge of Sol System. The first hollow swarm reached Pluto orbit, waiting for them. 5 human dreadnoughts, 14 alien capital ships, 300 strike cruisers, 2,000 drones, and the Nemesis protocol ready to activate it. Raina of Ashfall gave the order, "Fire everything. Show them we're not prey." A wall of light erupted from the fleet. Weapons Earth had built in silence, and weapons older than most stars fired side by side. Dozens of hollow ones exploded in the first few minutes, but the swarm didn't slow. Seeing Earth under siege, hollow ones slipped past the front. They reached Mars, Luna, Earth's orbit, but they weren't ready for what they found. Earth's orbital ring opened, revealing hundreds of orbital cannons. AI-operated, auto-targeting, each one upgraded using the vault key data. One by one, the invaders were destroyed before they could touch the sky. Humanity's homeworld was no longer soft, it was Fortress Earth now. Scene. The Hollow King arrives. Everything stopped when it came. The Hollow King, a creature so massive, it blocked the stars behind it. Its body didn't move in normal space, it bent it. No weapon touched it. Ships targeting it exploded before they fired. Screams filled the minds of those nearby. Dr. Lena Ortiz stood inside Earth's core command, staring at the readings. "It's not a ship," she said. "It's not even alive the way we understand." Saito turned. "Then how do we kill it?" Lena whispered. "We don't, but maybe he can." Seeing Moloch's returning the vault beyond space, Malik had changed. He was no longer just a man. The vault had fused with him, mind and matter. Now he was the last keybearer, and he heard the Hollow King coming. He didn't ask for orders, he didn't wait. He launched himself into the hollow swarm, a single spark in the black. But where he passed, hollow ones screamed and died. The Hollow King turned. It noticed him, seen the final door. Moloch entered the Hollow King's space, not in a ship, but inside a cocoon of light shaped from the vault itself. He reached the king's mind. That wasn't thought, it wasn't logic, it was hunger. And for the first time, it was afraid. Malik spoke not with words, but with fire. "You were made to clean. Now I end the cycle." He released the final lock. The one thing the hollow ones feared: FORGET-FULNESS. Their memory link shattered. They stopped moving in sync. They stopped acting as one. The king's protection vanished. And in that moment, scene, humanity fires the last shots. Saito gave the order. "Now hit it with everything." All ships targeted the Hollow King, hundreds of missiles, focused energy beams, kinetic rods, and one final weapon, Project Dawn, Earth's experimental Suncore lance, fired from the moon. The Hollow King cracked, then broke, then vanished, screaming into the void. Seen the aftermath, the Hollow Ones scattered, blind, broken, leaderless. The Alliance did not chase them, they held the line. They had survived. The Council met once more, but this time, Earth didn't come to speak, they came to lead. Jerome Lane entered the chamber, wearing no weapons, no titles, just truth. He said, "We're not better than you, we're not more advanced. We were just the first to stand when everyone else sat down. Next time, no one should stand alone." The Council stood with him, every species, one galaxy. One voice. Final scene, a quiet signal back in the vault. Malik sat alone, watching the stars. He didn't regret staying. He didn't feel alone. Earth remembered him, Lena remembered him, and across the stars, his message echoed again and again. When someone cries for help, we answer, no matter what waits in the dark.